Okay, I wanted to introduce you guys to what we're going to be looking at in the personal planning retreat this quarter, which will be in the last 3 weeks of December, probably just before Christmas, but we'll find out who's interested and then we'll set a date between everyone. So I just wanted to give you a quick run through of what we'll be doing, which will be doing a direct application of the things that quite a few of us have learned from the Getting Things Done methodology, basically looking at less stress and more success. So here's the basics of what will be on the day. There's only 3 main things we'll be showing you. The first half of the day will be about mastering workflows. So it'll be going through the steps of workflow and how the GTD system allows you to master your workflow. The second thing we'll be looking at is setting priorities to actually figure out what things are important and how to actually manage the things that are important to you. And the third thing we'll be looking at is effective planning. So that's the main things we'll be going through on the day. And the main question we're going to be asking before people commence is what you'll be doing or experiencing differently if the system works for you, because that's the reason to attend the day. It's not academic learning, it's actually designed to make your life get better from the very first moment that you start using the system. And that's definitely been the experience of some key Griffin people as we've been using and learning the system over the last 4 years. So we'll just have a look at the fundamental process before the session so you know what we're going to be doing. It basically simplifies everything that you're doing down into a couple of key questions. It takes all of the stuff that's in your life and it turns it either into projects or next actions. So it really is about asking yourself just 2 key questions, which is what is the successful outcome that I want from this, and therefore what is the next action that I can do to move myself towards it. And it's creating a holistic system around managing all of the things that come through your head and putting it into these basic questions. So the first part of the day will be about mastering workflow, and there's really just 5 things that we'll be looking at there, which is how to collect all the things that are going on in your life and put them into a distributed cognition system, which is basically a diarising system that's actually going to allow you to track everything in your life, not just your work, not just your personal life, but everything that's going through your head. And then how to process everything that's going on in your life and how to manage all of that stuff. Then how to organise everything so that you know what to do. And then the final process step is how to review, so how to keep your system up to date every week. And finally, the last thing that we'll be doing is looking at the do, so how you actually get on with doing everything you've collected, processed, organised and reviewed. So we'll be looking at this diagram in quite a lot of detail. This is just looking at how you take all of random stuff that goes on in life, deal with it, find out what to do with it, and then how to turn that into projects and make that workflow. So this is from the GTD system. The second part of the session will be setting priorities. So we're just going to have a look at what's called in GTD the multi-level approach. So looking at where you could have things going on in your head that reflect the things that are going on in your life and the different levels that they could be operating at. So they use it like thinking about altitude. So with 50,000 feet plus being thinking about your whole life, and then like you're landing an aeroplane coming down all the way down to the runway, which is your current actions, the things you're going to actually get on with today. So the third part of the session is looking at planning effectively, and we look at 3 main things there. The power of outcome focus, which is thinking about how you can actually rewire your brain to actually just naturally figure out the things that you need to do. How to develop and capture ideas, so looking at brainstorming and how that's done well and how you can make projects really, really quickly, and when you've got a compound project, how you can turn that into a series of next actions very, very quickly, but in a way that's quite thorough. And the third thing we'll look at is a natural planning model, so looking at the way that the human brain naturally likes to plan things out and actually understanding that a bit better so that we can just use the way our brains naturally plan things to be more effective. So we'll do a summary at the end, which is called Black Belt Management. And the idea of this is to look at the best practices that really make the GTD system work. So there's 5 key things that they point out, which is to get everything out of your head and into a system so that you don't have to think about what you're doing next. You can get on with what you're doing now. The second thing is to decide outcomes and next actions. So really just getting the focus in on the nitty-gritty of what you're going to get done right now in the present. Putting all of your results in a total life reminder system that you can review regularly so that you're not sort of just getting to a crisis point and jumping up and down and doing things when they become a crisis, but you're actually just doing regular review to get things done in a systematic way so your stress level drops. How to define work at the appropriate levels is really, really important. So knowing when something comes into your head, what level that's existing at in your mind and therefore in your system. And finally, and this has been a really big one for me, is learning how to trust your intuition on your action choices. So actually knowing that you've got a system that will back you up so that you can trust your gut most of the time and just do the things which seem like they'd be a sensible thing to do now. So that's what the personal planning retreat will be about this quarter. If you are interested in attending, what you need to do is get back to me very, very quickly and let me know that you're interested. It doesn't mean you have to come. And then once we've found out all the people that are interested, then we'll get all those people together on an email, and we'll find a day that works for most people, and then we'll have the session on that day. So thanks for your attention. If you are interested, don't hesitate to drop me an email, davidbartholomews@gmail.com, or just give me a buzz or a text and let me know. My number is 041 781 9553.